Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance is the second title in a trilogy of Castlevania games developed by Konami for the Game Boy Advance. Harmony of Dissonance was released in 2002 and is usually regarded as the best of the three. The Game Boy Advance series follows in the footsteps of the highly regarded Symphony of the Night, which was released on the PlayStation in 1997 and features one large world to explore, rather than multiple levels. Despite there being just one large level, the variety found in Harmony of Dissonance is outstanding. The title opens with a classic view from outside the castle gates, and before you know it, you're in. Early on in the game, your suspicions are confirmed as you discover you are in Dracula's castle. The entire grounds of the castle are sprawling as you traverse inside, outside, and underground. There is also a second layer by traveling through portals where you then explore a second version of Dracula's home. There is a story here that ties Harmony of Dissonance into the Castlevania world. You control Juste Belmont, grandson of Simon Belmont from the very first game. Juste and his friend Maxim are trying to rescue a third friend, Lighty, who has been kidnapped and being held captive. Through the game, there are cutscenes with Death and Maxim that slowly reveal what is happening and keep the plot moving forward. None of it is too deep nor overly convoluted, just enough to keep things moving along, which I appreciate. Juste wields the Vampire Killer and can whip left or right and while jumping. Additionally, he can hold the whip out like a shield and swing it around. This felt limiting at first, however, the enemy placement fits these limitations perfectly, and it's never an issue. Per usual, there are secondary weapons that offer some ranged attacks. Finally, there are magic attacks. These attacks are used in lieu of the secondary attack and actually change depending on which magic you have selected and which secondary item you are currently equipped with. So again, the limited directions of the whip attack aren't an issue at all. Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance has some light RPG elements as well. In addition to the magic, there is a leveling up system, which makes you more powerful as the game progresses. There are also a lot of items scattered about that increase specific stats or give you new abilities. It was always fun to collect a new piece of gear and then figure out how to best equip Juice to take advantage of everything. Even more, there's actually a merchant offering healing potions and armor upgrades, further cementing the light RPG feel. The actual gameplay itself took me by surprise. I expected to enjoy this game, but it actually completely sucked me in for hours on end. The open-ended nature of the game means other methods must be used to give a feel of progress. As I was exploring every nook and cranny of each section, I was constantly double-checking my map screen to make sure I didn't miss anything. When I came across a section of the castle that I couldn't get past, I would make a mental note that once I can slide, to return here, or once I can jump higher, return there. Despite the whole castle feeling very large, it's expertly crafted and never feels overwhelming. Things are slowly revealed to you at the perfect pace, allowing you to feel like you are making progress. Another aspect to this is the saving and the bosses. There are specific rooms that do nothing but save your game and replenish your health and magic points. Once you reach one of these, it means a boss is near. This puts you on edge as you know you are about to fight something awesome. The bosses mostly deliver. They aren't the most challenging things in the world, but they have decent attacking patterns and weak points that make them fun to figure out and satisfying to defeat. They also feature a lot of animation and plenty of hardware rotation effects, making all of their movements appear very smooth. Graphically, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance is pretty fantastic. It's a bit on the bright and colorful side, which was required in 2002 as the Game Boy Advance did not yet have a backlit screen. Yet, it does a great job of capturing the dark, moody world of the Castlevania universe. The environments are very detailed, with plenty of variation between different backgrounds and objects, keeping it all from feeling stale. The only real fault I have is with Juiced himself, who has very few frames of animation for walking and jumping. Considering these are the most common things you do in the game, it's a bit of a letdown. Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance is often criticized for its lackluster soundtrack, but I don't find it offensive at all. Nothing here is as epic as the best music in the series, but it's all perfectly serviceable and occasionally awesome. There is a nice mix of old school orchestrated sounds, mixed with some more upbeat modern compositions, a surprising amount of bass, that all mix together perfectly to give each section of the castle its own feel, while staying true to the Castlevania name. This is an incredibly enjoyable game. Finding flaws is really just nitpicking. Not every enemy is created equal, and some have attack patterns that are more annoying than challenging. The game is also on the easy side, which is either a good thing or a bad thing depending on your tastes. Lastly, there is plenty of backtracking through the same sections of the castle, which isn't always satisfying. The great presentation, smooth side-scrolling action, and light RPG elements make for a fairly deep and satisfying experience. Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance is a great game. Minor things aside, this one was a huge surprise for me. It's a ton of fun, and I highly recommend it. 4 out of 5.